Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to all of you. Welcome to SWA Education, myself Radha. Today we are going to discuss about public health ethics, globalization and health, Indian health system, international health regulation, occupational health and occupational disease. So today we are going to target this portion. So let's start. So what do you mean by ethics? Firstly, we discuss what is ethics and then we switch on what do you mean by public health ethics. So what is ethics? Ethics are moral principles that govern a person's behavior. Means ethics are moral principles that systemize or that give us guidance that what is right and what is wrong and guide us to take good decision. So ethics are moral principles that govern person behavior. Ethics define and systemize what is right versus wrong and are used to guide society to make good or we can say moral decision. According to the Center of Disease Control, public health ethics is the application of relevant principles and values to public health decision making. So when we are dealing about public health ethics, so they are relevant to health of the population and value to public health decision making. So these are three attributes. One is equity, second one is sustainability, third one is effectiveness. So these are three attributes of applied public health research. One is equity, second one is sustainability, third one is effectiveness. So when we are dealing about applied public health research, we deal sustained intersectoral research capacity, critical perspective on the research practice policy interface and autonomy. So we assert that applied public health research is best positioned to contribute meaningfully to the principle of sustainability, effectiveness and equity. So principle of health ethics. So there are four principles in this diagram. One is autonomy, second one is non-maleficence, third one is beneficence and fourth one is justice. So when we are dealing with autonomy, so autonomy is the right or freedom of the patient to maintain control of their body before and after treatment in healthcare. So according to healthcare, autonomy is the freedom of patient. What freedom? What kind of freedom? To maintain control of their body before and after treatment. Second one is non-maleficence. So non-maleficence cover four factors. First, should not be truly wrong. Second, every action should have a positive benefit. Third, good effect should never be a result of wrong action. And lastly, good outcome should always outweigh the bad. Third one is beneficence. Beneficence, all choice for a patient are made with the intent to do good. So beneficence is an essential principle of healthcare ethics and ethical selfishness. Principle encourage healthcare worker to invest the time and effort to make sure that each patient benefit in each situation. Fourth one is justice. Treat and provide care fairly to all patients. So justice principle state that there should be fairness in all medical decisions. For instance, patients deserve advanced health care delivery regardless of their situation. There have been numerous cases where patient fail to get the necessary treatment due to economic status and ethnicity. So justice principle, for instance, patients deserve advanced healthcare delivery regardless of their situation. So these are 4 basic principles of healthcare ethics. Next one is why governance for health. So the complex epidemiological, economic and social issue confronting health system around the world make it necessary for government to adjust their approach in order to manage their challenge and ensure the health of their population and the prosperity of their countries. So in recent time there are certain health related issues, so it is necessary for government to adjust the approach in order to manage the challenges related to the health of the population of their country. So, if I am dealing about Indian health system, so in Indian health system, health and economy have a direct correlation. As the economy of country improve, the health of citizen improve and vice versa. Means economic and health are directly proportional. If one is increased, then it will proportionally affect other one. So for any country to progress, its citizen must remain healthy and live longer, and for that good economy of a country is needed, because there are a direct correlation between health and economy. But right healthcare presence is a challenge for the country, especially for those with a vast population like India. So India has a challenge related to healthcare services. Despite being one of the fastest growing economies, primary healthcare system of India is in the state of crisis. According to the National Health Profile 2017, our country has only 1 million allopathic doctors to treat a population of 1.3 billion. That shows that India is in the state of crisis in case of healthcare system. So level of primary healthcare system in India. So primary level, secondary level and tertiary level. First one is primary level. So primary healthcare is the first level of contact between healthcare institution and the patient. It includes sub-center and primary healthcare center. So primary level includes contact between healthcare institute and patient. It includes sub-center and primary healthcare center. Sub-center is the most peripheral and first contact point between the patient and healthcare facility. So it is the first contact point between healthcare institute and patient. It has 3 employees. Sub-center has 3 employees. One is health worker male, health worker female, and voluntary worker. So Government of Indian Ministry of Health and Family Welfare is responsible for providing 100% fund for the sub-center. Next one is primary healthcare center. It is the first point of contact between village community and the doctor. So it is the contact between village community and doctor. So when we are dealing about the primary level, it is a first contact between healthcare institute and the patient, and it includes sub-center and primary healthcare center. In sub-center, it is the most peripheral and first contact point between the patient and healthcare facility. It includes 3 employees. One is health worker male, health worker female, and voluntary worker. And primary healthcare center is the first point of the contact between the village community and the doctor. So it has a strength of at least 15 people, including a medical officer, medical health assistant. Medical officer is considered as the leader of the team or primary health center. Second one is secondary level. So secondary level is the first referral level where the patient is referred depending upon the seriousness of the issue. So it includes the community health center. So it is also called referral, first referral level. Patient refer depending upon the seriousness of the issue. So it includes the community health center. So when we discuss about community health center, here the staff strength is 30. Staff strength is 30, and in primary healthcare, staff strength is 15. So here staff strength is 30 including 4 specialist doctor. There should be a physician, a surgeon, a gynecologist, and a pediatrician. 3 new posts have been created under the NRHM program. They are ophthalmic surgeon, anesthetist, and public health program manager. Next one is tertiary level. Tertiary level is a second referral level. It is the second referral level. Second referral level include hospital and medical college. The tertiary health center does not come under the primary health care. So we are skipping this its explanation. So sub-center level of care is primary because primary level includes sub-center and primary health center. So these come under primary level. Primary level where is the contact between the healthcare institution and the patient, and community health center comes under secondary level. Secondary level. So level of care is secondary, level of care is primary, and level of care is primary in sub-center. So in sub-center and primary health center, primary level of care, and community health center, secondary level of care. So in sub-center is located at a population of 5,000. Total number of staff in sub-center is 3. It is regulated by central government. Second one is primary health center. Each PHC is located, PHC means primary health center, is located at a population of 3,000. Number of staff is 15 and regulated by state government. Community health center. Each community health center is located at a population of 1,20,000. Number of staff is 30 and regulated by state government. So these are the difference between sub-center, primary health center, and community health center, or we can say primary level and secondary level of healthcare system in India. Next one is occupational health. Occupational health is an area of work in public health to promote and maintain highest degree of physical, mental, and social well-being of worker in all occupation. So in occupational health, we work for the well-being of the worker in all occupation. Occupational health and safety, that is OHS, focus primarily on protecting employee in the workplace from accident, injuries, and exposure to harmful substance. So when we are dealing with the occupational health is a program that is for the social well-being of worker, especially protecting the employee in the workplace from accident, injuries, and exposure to harmful substance. So it is an area of work in public health to promote and maintain highest degree of physical and mental well-being. So benefit of occupational health and safety management. So improve reputation, fewer accident, or we can say less accident, higher productivity, few cost, improve resilience and legal compliance. So what is the benefit of occupational health? If we focus on protecting employee in workplace from accident, injuries and exposure to harmful substances, so less number of accident and less number of cost, that is the benefit of it. Next one is occupational disease. Occupational disease are the disease caused by work or work environment. Any chronic disease that occur as a result of work or occupational activity. So occupational disease are diseases that are caused by work environment. Work related disease are disease initiated, hampered or easy to get by work. Means disease which we get from the occupational or which we get from the work environment where we are working. So occupational disease factor are physical, that can be heat, noise and radiation, chemical, solvent, pesticide, heavy metal and dust, biological, tuberculosis, hepatitis, HIV, ergonomic, repetitive motion, improper design tool or work areas, psychological, stressor, lack of control over work, inadequate personal support, and when we are dealing with mechanical factor, mainly cause accident and injuries. Next one is hierarchy of control. How we can control occupational disease that we get from the work environment. So we studied it from least effective to most effective. So protect the worker with personal protective equipment like PPE, change the way people work, administrative control, engineering control, isolate people from hazard or the substance that cause harmful effect on the population or the people. Substitution, replace the hazard or substitute it from any other thing, or elimination, physically remove the hazard. So these are the hierarchy of control from the occupational disease. So occupational health is the health where we are working or force onto the health care of the workers, and occupational disease are the disease that we get from the work environment, and we also studied about the factors of that and control of that. So thank you so much everyone. If you find this video beneficial for you, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel for more such kind of videos, and if you have any query regarding this lecture, you can comment down below. Thank you so much everyone.